We live. There we are. We're live, baby. We're back. Episode 54 of The Shift. We're here. Nick Earnshaw's got his Hollywood shades on. He's feeling himself. I don't know why he's wearing a hoodie, though. I don't know when you're getting back from Florida, you're wearing hoodies. I don't know what you're doing, Nick.
It's cold up here, man.
Cold? No, it's not.
It's cold.
It's beautiful out, baby. It's like 80 degrees.
It's better. I'm on the inside. We got the air conditioning on in here.
Oh, same here. But I feel good. I got my Pedro jersey on. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Got the All-Star game jersey, out 99
Nice.
All-Star game. You weren't even alive for that. I don't think you were you?
What year?
99.
Yeah, no, 2000, man.
Damn. That's crazy.
2000. But I just got back from vacation. Got a little tan going, so we're ready. We're ready to be back on the shift, man. It's good to be back. It feels good. We're back, getting back in the swing of things. Waking up early for work. Back to that. Back to the grind. Back to a BDK or is it DBK? I'm sorry. DBK. Oh, you almost had it. WDBK.
Yeah, come on, man. You did the commencement speech, right? You're like the Kylie Kelsey, right?
I didn't do a commencement speech, but I did do the video. I did do the graduation, what you need to know video, essentially. That was
right. I like that. I think it would be dope if they had you do the commencement speech. I would love that. Of course, I would make fun of you, of course, but also that'd be pretty sick if they, you know what I mean? The shift legend, Nick Earnshaw. You know what I mean?
They ask you, give a shout out to the shift. Go subscribe at the end. Subscribe.
Yeah, just like Howard Eskin did for I forget where Howard did his.
You know
what I mean? But
it was a college in Delaware, Goldie Beacom, something like that.
Goldie Beacom College. All you need is a doctorate, and then you can do the speech.
Well, no,
because Howard got his doctorate.
Yeah,
is that where he got the doctorate from?
Yeah, it's honorary. It's an honorary doctorate. That's what he got.
Shows how much I pay attention. Shows how much I pay attention.
Attention to detail, Fran. Attention to detail.
Yeah, I'm not good with that. Unless it's like baseball or sports or maybe music related. My attention to detail is not good. It's really bad. It's
gotta hone those skills into other areas. We gotta.
I know. It's something I'm 29, and it's something I've struggled with for 29 years since I came out.
It's all right. Maybe when you turn 30, you'll turn the page.
Right.
You'll turn the page.
Isn't that crazy? I was 7 months from now, I'm turning 30. It's insane.
Yeah, you'll be an old person. How about that?
I'm sitting here going to shows, man. Last 2 shows I went to, like I ain't recovering well, man. I'm moshing hard. I'm dancing hard. You know what I mean? I went to a show last night, dude. My body's achy. I'm not even in a push pit. I'm just dancing hard. You know what I mean? Flailing my arms, spin kicking. You know what I mean?
Well, when you,
I know
you
you don't.
30, everything starts to hurt. That's what I've heard.
You would know. Let's say you would know.
Recover slow. No, that's what I've heard. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Right. You're about to hear from me soon. You're about to hear from me. When we're doing like episode 200 of the shift, we'll talk about how bad my whole body aches every single day. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I got my remote.
What do you see? Look,
not that that's even important, but I felt like I needed to go get my remote.
You're forgetting where you're at. You're dropping things. You have to keep hydrated during the show.
I'm thirsty.
Hey, you're getting older, man.
I am getting old. Yeah. But there is baseball to be talked about. By the way, welcome back.
Is that why we're here? Is that why we're here?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, most of the time, are we even really talking baseball? I know we talk baseball, but here we are 4 minutes into the show. Did you catch a Rays game? Did you catch like a Marlins game? What'd you do down there?
No. I went on. I laid on a beach. That's what I did. I laid on a beach and I floated in the Gulf of Mexico. I was just floating. I went into the Gulf of Mexico and was just floating around. I was utter relaxation down there.
I'm jealous, man. I need to get. I haven't been down to Florida. I haven't been on the beach. I didn't go to the beach at all last year, man. No short trip, no nothing. I need to get down there, man.
Well, we're gonna do something. Let's go to the beach then. Shift show from the beach.
I would do it on the boardwalk.
On the boardwalk.
Under the boardwalk.
Under the boardwalk. Above the boardwalk.
Every place. That actually would be really funny. Oh boy. Yep. All right. So baseball. There is baseball to talk about as we're almost 2 months into the season. Nick Earnshaw, you know, a lot. Oh, look at you! You got your bat. You got your bat. I like it.
Ready.
I like it. He's back. He's back. He's back. I
props.
get it. He's back. But baseball, you know, we're in pretty much full swing now, and you know, a lot happening. Cole Reagan saw his career high in strikeouts today. You know, you got Ali Marmol getting ejected once again. I mean, it's a consistent thing with him now. I like it though. I like it. You know, you got to try to do something for your players because nothing's happening for the Cardinals right now. But I want to start here, Nick, because two of these pitchers, Ranger Suarez from the Phillies, another dominant outing. That was last night, correct? And then Shota Imanaga was a couple of nights ago, I believe, once again, lowering his ERA from 0.96 to 0.84. Two of the best pitchers in baseball right now. I don't think that's not even just the National League. It's not really a debate at this point. It's Ranger, it's Shota, and it's pretty awesome to watch, especially obviously as Phillies fans here, Nick. Ranger is it's really pretty special right now. You know, I heard T-Mac last night on the broadcast saying, you know, Rangers putting together a special season. I know it's early, but I think you and me know Ranger, you know, pretty well as far as Phillies fans go, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. I don't want to get into the take here right away, but Shota Imanaga, though, I mean, best pitcher in baseball as far as numbers go, and as far as stuff goes too. I mean, it's obviously he's been pretty incredible. So, Nick, the question I have for you, and I'll let you start out here: who's more likely? And I mean, it's really them two, Cy Young 1 and 2 right now. Who's more likely to finish this hot start? Because we don't know Shota Imanaga all that well. Me and you know Ranger as Phillies fans, but I think the baseball world's getting to know him a little more this year as he's having, you know, his hot start. Who's more likely to finish their hot start?
I mean, for me, I have to go Ranger. I mean, it's not just like because he's a Philadelphia Philly, but, you know, he's been in the league for a few years now, right? Like, he's pitched in big games. He's been to a World Series. He's pitched in National League Championship games, right? Big time playoff games. He's been around the block. He's gone through the ups and flows of a major league regular season. Shota, you know, he's 30 years old. He's a 30-year-old rookie. Came over from Japan from last year. Listen, he's been phenomenal. 5-0 with an 0.84 ERA. Ridiculous. In 9 starts. He's gone 6 or more innings in 6 out of his 9 starts this year. He's been fantastic. Signed that 4-year, $53 million deal in the offseason with the Cubs. Listen, he led the league in Japan over Yamamoto in strikeouts, right? Like, he was kind of the secondary pitcher behind Yamamoto to get signed out of Japan this past offseason. They say that league is kind of like AAA-ish, touching Major League Baseball a little bit. Like, that's kind of the level of competition, right? Listen, he's been phenomenal to start the season. He's got that really good splitter as well. He's off to a really ridiculous start. He's been fantastic also. I just think the experience of Ranger Suarez, been there, done that. He's a little younger than Shota, so you know, he's 30 years old. Ranger's a little bit younger than that. So I think even though he has more experience in Major League Baseball, for me, I got to go Ranger. I think because he's been in the league for a while, he's, you know, seen these guys for a long time. He's continued to develop each and every year. I just have to go Ranger. I think he could stay more consistent, and he's very, very even-keeled. So I'm going to go Ranger in this case, even though both pitchers have been fantastic. I think Ranger's the guy.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, man? I'm actually gonna go the opposite side here because
wow,
but I know what you're saying. I think it's neck and neck. I don't mean this in like Shota is it's gonna pull away and Ranger's gonna, you know, revert back to kind of like a league average pitcher, which you kind of was last year. But, you know, I kind of, you know, chop that up to injuries and stuff. You know, he got injured off the World Baseball Classic and things like that. So it was kind of and I think he got hurt even after that. I think he got hurt later in the year. So, you know, you give him this year, now he's healthy and you see what he's doing. I just think with Shota, I think the angle I see here is that Major League hitting has never seen him before this year. And maybe Shota comes back down to earth like next year or the year after. And I know they have tape on him from the first 2 months, but I think there's something to, him only having 10 starts, in the majors right now. And hitters haven't seen too much of him. And sometimes it works to guys' advantage, like it does. And Shota had all the experience, over there in Japan. And like you said, it could be a AAA, whatever. But obviously, this guy was ready for the majors. Obviously, Yu Darvish was ready for the majors. Obviously, Hideo Nomo, Daisuke Matsuzaka, those guys were ready for the majors. So the way I see it, Nick, is that these major league hitters never seen him before. Yeah, maybe they saw the tape from Japan. Obviously, they definitely did. I don't know. A little different when you're going from Japan over to the majors. It's different for certain guys. Maybe certain guys didn't get it going when they first came over. But Imanaga obviously has gotten it going, and he's literally been unhittable. It's been pretty ridiculous to this point what he's done, and walk percentage of just over 4. The ERA under 1. The WOBA opposing hitters 221, all that. It's incredible. So I actually trust Shota a little more. I know what you're saying about the experience. Initially, I had thought about that with Ranger, and I could definitely see the angle. I think it's definitely going to be close, and I hope I'm wrong, because as a Phillies fan, I would love to see somebody like Ranger win a Cy Young. When's the last time a Philly won a Cy Young? I think it might have been Roy Halladay, 2011, 2010, somewhere around there, I believe. So I hope I'm wrong, but Shota's been unbelievable, man. So is Ranger, but I'm gonna go Shota, Nick. Well, that's where I'm going. You okay with that?
No, I can't. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with this one today. I mean, this is one you could go either way on, right? I mean, they've both been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Rangers putting up crazy numbers. And you mentioned Tom McCarthy on the broadcast last night. Him and John Clark. John Clark tweeted out after the game as well that Ranger Suarez is the only pitcher in Phillies history as the third lowest ERA behind Grover Cleveland Alexander. Like,
that's insane,
ridiculous
man.
Numbers after 10 starts. Like the lowest ERA, third lowest ERA in Phillies history. Crazy. You also have these stats as well. Rangers the only pitcher with a sub 1.50 ERA and 65 strikeouts after his first 10 appearances. Only pitcher to ever do that. Like, they're both putting up crazy, crazy numbers. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. The element of surprise, definitely a factor, Shota, right? Definitely a factor over there. I just think the experience factor will play a gigantic role as the season moves forward. That's where I'm at. That's why I pick Ranger.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. And also, I mean, it's Imanaga and it's Javier Assad, who has also been like unbelievable for them. It's those two. That guy's got an ERA under 2. And then you got for the Phils, it's Ranger, and then it's his Zach Wheeler. So this is,
Hey,
I'm waiting. Wheeler's still like, it's crazy. Like Wheeler's, I don't know. I know the conversation we're having right now, but Wheeler is my Cy Young pick. I still don't know if I want to go away from that. I know we're just talking about these two, but Zach Wheeler still might be my Cy Young pick. So
listen.
Look, I'm wearing Red Sox today. I'm not all Phillies.
I know. Listen. Hopefully the Red Sox and Phillies don't face off in the World Series, because then you'll bring out the Red Sox jersey early on in the series. We know how you are with your MLB style.
I want you. Yeah, no. Why can't you go rip like? Do you watch Baseball Today with Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe? Do you watch that? Yeah. Why don't you go rip Chris Rose? He wears a different team every day. Rip him.
That's fine.
Why is it fine?
You. I'm on the show with you. It's fine.
No. It can't go both ways. You got to no. You got to go on the show, comment, and you got to say, "Hey, Chris, we always got different MLB. You got to support the Mets when they play the Guardians." Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
You wore it in a pennant race. During the pennant, you wore it. It was
look, man, we won. We won.
See,
W.
The problem was that wasn't the only time you've done something like this.
We're
going back, by the way. Cooperstown.
When was the other time?
In Cooperstown last year in Cooperstown.
That's different. Don't get out of here.
Say no. Let me finish. You wore the Mariners jersey and were going up to people who were wearing other Phillies shirts saying "Go Phils." They looked at you like you had 5 heads. And I had to walk next to you.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know this guy. He's just following me around. He's just following Phillies fans around in a Mariners.
You're exaggerating that. It wasn't like that. Yeah, I said I wasn't following Phillies fans around. We just happened to bump into some, and I was like, go Phils. Yeah, you're right. It probably was a little weird that I was wearing a Ken Griffey Jr. jersey. We're not going to call it American. It's not like I was wearing a Cal Raleigh jersey. All right, relax. I'm like I'm a Mariners fan. I'm a Ken Griffey Jr. fan. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I want to know, Joe. Is Jovan tuning in? I need Jovan to give his thoughts on this.
Well, Phil Casey, he's tuning in on Instagram. I guess he heard the beginning of the show. He said, "Take your vitamins."
Take my vitamins?
You're getting a little older. Take your vitamins.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I haven't taken my one a day in like a week, so maybe that's something I need to take. Shout out to Phil.
Well,
Phil's a great guy.
Vitamins.
You know Phil? I feel like I introduced you to Phil. I introduced you to Phil. Okay, I'm just making sure.
I know Phil.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
Come on, man. Right. You don't know who I know.
Actually, maybe you're right. I don't know. Who do you know? All right, yo, what did you have? Yo, meat and potatoes, baby. What'd you have? We always got to get into this. What'd you have? What'd you have tonight?
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. Yeah. I think you know what I had tonight for dinner. I think you know.
Domino's.
You already know. It's one of my favorite meals. I did have Domino's tonight. I took a nap. I got home. It was like 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm 10 points away from a free pizza. Boom. I got those last 10 points. The next time I go, I get a free pizza.
Good for you. I'm glad. Honestly, like in all seriousness, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like I'm a Domino's fan. Like I had Domino's like 2 weeks ago. I get the small. I get it for myself, man. I know I'm a fat boy when it comes to Domino's. I do the small pizza. I do half pepperoni, half cheese, and then I get like 8 wings, and I eat all of it.
That's solid. That's solid. See that's the way to go. It's a big way to go. Lately, I just get either the medium or large pie to myself. So, yeah,
the medium or large pie for yourself.
Yeah, I have about 6 slices saved. I have about 6, and then I save the other 2.
Okay. I thought you meant you had like the whole pie. I'm like, damn.
I mean, I can if I'm really feeling it, I can go whole
right
pie.
If you really want to.
Yeah, if I really want to, yes.
Yeah. Nah, but we don't want you to get sick.
My healthy ways.
Your health. Yeah.
I got a stomach of steel, Francisco. Stomach of steel.
Oh yeah. Wait till you get older. You're gonna gain a little weight, bro. Trust me, it's happened to me.
Not 30 yet.
Not 30 yet. You're like 23, 24? 3. Right. Yeah, you're a young boy. Jesus Christ. All right. Can I say what I had? Am I allowed to say what I had?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Just making sure, so I had leftover pasta. You know what I'm saying? Leftover pasta.
Yeah.
And then I also had we stopped at McDonald's on the way home for picking up some this set of drawers for I moved up here in my new in my attic. We got it redone and everything. So I'm basically gonna live up here. You know what I'm saying? But we picked up some McDonald's. I had a cheeseburger and I had some fries with the pasta. You know what I'm saying? So it was good.
Solid. Golden arches.
I enjoyed it.
There you go. Golden arches.
Yeah. Hey, All right. So let's get back to baseball. We go. We're just talking about the food we eat while we watch baseball. That's the point of that. Nick, I got I have some interesting teams here because we didn't really expect. All right, look, the people that expected the Royals to actually be good this year, you're all liars. So I want to say that first. No one actually expected the Royals to be good this year. And I'm not hating. I'm a fan of the Royals, actually. And I'm not a fan like that. But I like their team. That made no sense. But the Royals have been really good. Guardians have been good. They're leading that division as we speak. Yankees and then Brewers. So what I want to do, Nick, we'll just kind of do back and forth here. Just simply, in or out on these teams. Give me an explanation and I'll give mine. So how do you feel about the Guardians, AL Central leading Cleveland Guardians, in or out?
I'm going to be. This is tough. I think I'm going to go in. I'm in on the Guardians. I'm going to stay in on the Guardians. I think this is a team. They've been in the playoffs a few times over the past few seasons, right? I think they got some really nice talent out there. This is a team with the Kansas City Royals, who we'll get to in a second. I just think they have a little bit more experience. And we got Jose Ramirez on this squad, right? You got some really good pieces. Tyler Freeman, another piece. Andres Jimenez. You got some guys on this team for sure. I just think the Guardians, because they've been there, I'm going to go back to the experience kind of thing that I've talked about before. This division's kind of wide open, like heading into the season. I like the Guardians. I think this is a team that can continue to elevate themselves in that division because it's kind of wide open. The Royals are right there. You have Minnesota. They're 6.5 out, 26 and 23. I think Cleveland can continue to ascend offensively as well. So I'm going to say in on the Guardians.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say in as well. I just think it's just really hard to count the Guardians out. I know they were 10 games under 500 last year, and I mean, but even when they are slightly rebuilding, they just always find a way to get back to it, right? Like I'm looking at their 2012 season, 68-94, and then the next season, 92-70. We're able to get back to the wild card game. Stuff like that. And then, mid 2010s, they were able to get to the World Series in 2016. And they've kind of continued to be, AL Central contender, since then. And 2024, I'm not surprised. I am surprised. I'm also not surprised just because the division's kind of weak. Twins have kind of been all over the place this year. Yep. I like Cleveland, man. I like Cleveland. Their bullpen's just disgusting. I mean, talk about Shota Imanaga's, I know he's a starter, his .84 ERA. Class A, dude. I mean, ERA is almost zero. You know what I mean? Him and Mason Miller, best closers in the game. We'll get to Mason Miller in just a little bit. But yeah, Cleveland just always finds a way, dude. Their offense has been, it's been good enough in that division. I'll say it's been good enough with Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez. I think Steven Kwan's hurt right now, but offense is good enough for that team. Rotation's been, again, another word I'll use, good enough. Once again, it's really been their bullpen that's really carried them. But in that division, I'm in on Cleveland right now. How do you feel about Kansas City, other team in this division? They're right behind Cleveland.
Nobody thought that they get off to this hot start. You're 1,000. I don't say this often. I agree with you, Francisco Rojas. They are frauds. If you thought Kansas City was gonna get off to this hot start, I'm gonna say in on Kansas City. I'm gonna say in. I know I said I was in on the Guardians, but there's 3 wild card spots. We got to remember there's 3 wild card spots. I think Kansas City can definitely stay in the mix for sure. So I'm gonna say in. I don't think they just fall off a cliff. I don't think that happens. I don't think Kansas City's going to fall off a cliff. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr., who's been fantastic this year. I just had tied his career high the other night with 6 RBIs. He's been awesome. Cole Reagans, he dominated the other day again, 12 strikeouts. So this is a young team. I think they're going to stay hot. I think they'll, probably cool off at some point when you hit the dog days a little bit. But I'm going to say in because they have some young pieces. They got a guy like Bobby Witt in there. Salvador Perez has still played pretty well behind the dish. So I'll say in for the Royals. I think they cool off, but they stay in the wild card mix because we're saying in or out doesn't mean they win the division, but they could get into the wild card
playoffs. Yeah, that's what I mean by in or out playoffs.
Yeah. So I'll say in. I'm going to stay in on the Royals.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think it's tough. I'm with you that they stay in it for sure in the playoff mix. And I think that's a success for them. I think if they finish, 83 to 84 wins, I think that's overachieve. I mean, even if they won 81 to 82 games, I don't think that's that big of a deal for them. I'm going to say out. I know the Astros have sucked. They've been terrible. Can't count the Astros out. I can't count the Blue Jays out. I don't know. Even the Tigers aren't horrific. Tarek Scooble's been unbelievable. Like, I can't count the Tigers out. Rangers, I know Philly just smoked them again. Yeah, the Phillies are just the best team in baseball. Just had to throw that in there. I don't know, man. Like, the Red Sox pitching has been insane. I don't know how much I really trust them or anything, but I don't know. I just didn't. I think it's an interesting mix there for the American League wild card, and I'm just going to say out as far as them making the playoffs. But I'm in with you and them staying in the playoff mix. But I'm out on Kansas City. I will go here for the next one. Yankees, 100% in on, and I don't think either of us expected this at all for the Yankees to be this good. I'm still iffy on them being this good, like 100 games type of this good. I don't know. Stanton's stayed healthy for the most part, right? And he's got 11 homers. Judge had a weird start, but Judge is back to being Judge. Soto is being talked about, as far as MVP candidate goes. We'll talk about Juan Soto in a second. Will he still even be Yankee? I don't know. But we're talking about this year, right? So the Yankees have been unreal, and the starting pitching's been the strength. I mean, it's been like the Phillies. It's like we looked at their offense, but it's really the strength is their starting pitching. I'm in on them. Does that mean I think they're going to win the World Series? No, I'm not. I'm not there with the Yankees, even though my Astros pick is not looking good, which might mean I'm picking the Orioles. But that's a different. That's the story for another day. I know you love that. Oh my God. Oh, Brad might be in tomorrow. Relax, settle down. Okay. But I'm in on the Yankees, no doubt. What about you?
Yeah, I'll stay in on the Yankees will make the playoffs, barring any major injuries, a culmination of injuries. They'll make the playoffs. So I'm going to be in on the Yankees. I don't know how you can be. Judge is coming around, Stan's coming around, right? They're going to get Garrett Cole back. I can't, they've hit the baseball well. Juan Soto has been fantastic for them. So I can't say I'm out on the Yankees. The Yankees will make the playoffs. Whether Baltimore catches them, which probably will happen in my estimation, I don't think so. I still think they get in. They can be one of those wild card teams. I think Kansas City gets that third spot, like I mentioned before. I think the Yankees get one of those first two spots in the wild card. I think they drop off a little bit because I think Baltimore will eventually catch them. But I'm still in on the Yankees for sure. They're going to be a playoff team, just barring any major setbacks.
Where are you out on the Brewers? How do you feel about them? They're still first in the NL Central. What do you think?
I know they are. I don't believe in the Brewers, right?
Because you're a Reds fan. That's why.
I just can't believe. I can't believe in the Brewers. I know the Reds are in last. They're 8 games out. It's fine. I think the Cubs, and I know Pittsburgh's been up and down. They're 23 and 26. Chicago's 27 and 22. I really like what Chicago's been able to do. I think they're a team that could jump the Brewers at some point. I'm not totally sold. I'm not buying the Brewers hype to start the season. It's still May. Obviously, there's so much that can happen, but I'm not buying the Brewers hype. I think they're a little bit fraudulent. We've seen what they've done in the playoffs. They've lost some guys. They lost Corbin Burns in the offseason. They added Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins went down with a little bit of an injury, right? So I don't buy them. I don't buy the hype. I think they just got off to a hot start. I think they're a team that's going to be kind of the beginning of the year. Nice story. All right. They'll stay around 500. But I think they fall out of that top spot in the Central. I think the Cubs will overtake them at some point. And I think the Reds at some point will get hot as well.
Oh, relax. Settle down. He had to throw that last little dagger in there. Go. Yeah. Where's your Ellie jersey at? Do you have one?
I don't have one yet. I do need one. I should get one.
Yeah, you need one.
Definitely.
Yeah, you need a Ellie jersey. You need a Will Benson jersey. You need a oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on their other you need Andrew Abbott, you need a Hunter Green. Hunter Green's coming around. My gosh. I'm happy to see. I don't want to talk about the Reds too much. All right, Brewers. 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 I think I'm in on them to get a wild card spot. I believe I'm with you about the
division,
whomever you want to call it, the division, the Cubs in division. I'm with you on that, but I see them grabbing a wild card spot. I do think the Reese injury does hurt them a little bit. I don't think he's out that long.
No, I don't think it's a long stint.
Initially, they thought it was long, but yeah, I think they'll stay in it to get to the wild card. Their offense has been really good. Part of that was Reese there for a little while. Their rotation's been okay, but again, I use the word with the Guardians, good enough. It's been good enough for right now. You got Trevor McGill, Brian Hudson, Holby Milner at the back of that into that bullpen. They've been just fantastic. So I think it'll be good enough to get them into the playoffs, but maybe they get like the third wild card spot or something like that. So that's where I'm at in the Brewers. I'm in. So I'm in. Next thing I want to talk about, and thank you for sending this to me a couple of hours ago now, I believe. So according to I knew you sent this to me from Foul Territory. Shout out to them. They do awesome. They have awesome content. They quoted they had a quote from Hal Steinbrenner, basically where Steinbrenner shared some interesting thoughts on the Yankees payroll. And this does not sound like something very Yankees, but it was said, quote, "I'm going to be honest. Payrolls at the levels we're at right now are simply not sustainable for us financially." End quote. What are your thoughts, sir?
This is great. This is hilarious. I know, it was hysterical. I cannot believe that came out of a Steinbrenner's mouth. What?
It's not George anymore.
It's not George, but it's still a Steinbrenner. It's still part of the family tree, Francisco. Wow, the Yankees, they're getting a little cheap on us, Fran. They're getting a little cheap. They're penny pinching. They're penny pinching.
What is that?
They're penny pinching in New York. Oh, man, this is fantastic. Well, listen, it's funny. You know, he's considering the luxury tax an issue, right? Because the Yankees are about $300 million in payroll this year. They got to pay Aaron Judge. They got to pay Juan Soto. They're paying all these guys this year, all Stanton, Garrett Cole. I mean, they got all these stars, right? So they had a big payroll, and now Hal wants to, he wants to penny pinch a little bit, okay? Now here's the thing with Soto, right? Heading into next year, that's the big question. Are they going to re-sign Soto during the season, or is he going to go into free agency? I think he goes into free agency. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Juan Soto will go into free agency. But here's the good deal for Mr. Hal Steinbrenner, right? Verdugo's a free agent. Gleyber Torres is a free agent. Clay Holmes is a free agent, among others, will be free agents. They will be cutting around $100 million in salary when the season ends, Francisco. So they will have plenty of money to spend on Mr. Juan Soto if they do want to retain him. They hit home runs in that short porch out there in right field. They can retain him, and I think they will do everything they can to bring him back. The Yankees want stars, but now, once they sign Juan Soto, I don't know what Hal does after that, right? Like what are the Steinbrenners, the Yankees, going to do after that? They're going to just say, we're done. We're going to pack it up. We're closing our checkbook. We're penny pinching. We're out. I think they could sign Juan Soto, but what they do after that, I'm very curious to see. They've paid a lot of money to these players. Clearly he doesn't want to go into the luxury tax, doesn't want to go into those different aprons. This is not very New York Yankees. This is not very New York Yankees at all. So I do think Soto will resign there. It just seems that way. It seems like that'll be the direction, but he will go into free agency. It won't happen during the season. It'll happen after the season when that $100 million of all these players cut out that check. Boom, Soto will be a Yankee in the offseason, not during this year. I'm done.
So like you said, not very New York Yankee like. The way I see this is, I don't know if he's like bluffing or anything. Could he be bluffing? It's possible. Well, you said Clay Holmes is going to be a free agent. How can you not re-sign Clay Holmes? It's been unreal for them. Like, you have to re-sign Clay Holmes. Verdugo, you can let go. I wonder if this like speaks to any of their confidence in some of their young guys. Clark Schmidt's been really good for them this year. Luis Hill has come out of pretty much like nowhere for them, kind of. Spencer Jones coming up. Dominguez, Volpe. You know, I mean, Volpe's played, already has a Gold Glove. And maybe this speaks to the confidence in their young guys. Maybe they're a bit of a changed mindset and how they, as well as Waldo Cabrera as well. I mean, he hasn't been like great offensively or anything, but maybe they still have confidence in him. I mean, look at Philly's been patient with Alec Bohm, and Alec is having a career year so far. In his fourth, 2020, 21, 22, 23. Oh yeah, like, his fifth year. But Bohn's been like okay, outside of that, but patience pays off, I think, especially in the world today, Nick. Like, I think patience, is an undervalued thing. Like, I think it's an underrated thing in 2024 where we want everything now. So maybe it's just the changing of the Yankees mindset. Maybe they're bluffing a little bit. Maybe it's a changing of the mindset. It could be a mix of both. You know what I mean? But I think they're of course they're going to try to do everything they can to keep Juan Soto, and I think they just like their young guys. I like their young guys too. So, a lot of payroll, but like you said, not very Yankees like.
Yeah, it's just not very New York Yankee it's not on brand for them, right? It's just not on brand for the Yankees to say, we're gonna, we gotta save some money here. They're usually dishing out contracts left and right. That tax will hurt you, right? Like, that's a lot of money that you have to pay once you
whatever, you'll pay it off.
That's what I'm saying. You got billionaires, millionaires. Yeah, they got the money, but hey, they don't want to go into that tax. And we saw for a little while in Philadelphia, like Middleton didn't want to go in for a little while, and boom, he's like, let's do it. Screw it. Boom, we're gonna go into the luxury tax. But there's different aprons. Like, there's a first apron, there's like a second apron, third apron of that tax where you'll have to pay.
What does that mean? Apron? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Threshold.
Aprons. Oh, I never knew it. Yes. I thought I'm thinking of like a kitchen apron. I'm serious. I never heard of that word before. Never heard of that term.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. I'm teaching you something new every day here. You learn something new every day on the shift.
Thank you. Aprons. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. So that they have the 3 thresholds, right? That'll help you out a little bit more.
Thank you.
And I don't think they want to go into that third kind of threshold there. And that's the Yankees kind of want to stay away from that. So I get what he's saying, but it's just funny coming from the New York Yankees, the big brand, the Big Apple.
When's the last time they won a World Series? 2009. You were like 4 years old. You know what I'm saying?
I was 9.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I remember. I stayed up for those games. Come on,
Francisco. I know. You're right. Yeah, that was. I hated that series. I hated it. I genuinely hated that series.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was not fun. Not a fun series. Even though Utley had a big series, but anyway.
And it was like it was annoying because Utley had a huge series. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole really, but like at the same time, like I hated that Yankees team because I'm saying this to the Red Sox jersey. I really do sound like a Red Sox fan. I'm not a Red Sox fan. Relax. I'm not.
Now I see why you wore the Pedro jersey today. Now I see why.
Oh yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. You know what? Real quick. I don't know. The reason why I hated that Yankees team was because I feel like we were past that core of the Yankees, like A-Rod, Jeter, Pettit, who else was it? Posada. I felt like we were just done with that team by 08. And then 09 comes and then they win. I'm like, you guys won the early 2000s was your last chance when you lost to the Marlins in 03. That should have been a changing of the guard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just felt, maybe that's obviously as a Phillies fan, maybe that's more annoying. But as a baseball fan, it just felt like 2009 was a weird year for that team to win. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking. I know. But that's what I do as a Phillies fan and a baseball fan, not a Red Sox fan. Sorry, that's all my thoughts are on there. I know that was random,
okay.
but it just came up.
Okay.
Can you give us the prospect of the week, Nick? We need music there for the prospect of the week.
I can.
Bum, bum, bum.
Listen, I'm working on the music, man. I'm working on the music. Trust me.
Oh yes, I know.
It's coming. That's a little tease right there for the people.
Hey.
It's a little tease. All right. So my prospect of the week is a pitcher this week. Okay. I'm going with Quinn Matthews of the St. Louis Cardinals organization. Okay. He has been fantastic. Now, he was a 4th round pick, overall 122nd pick in the 2023 draft. He is a gigantic lefty, to say the least. He is so tall, let me tell you. So he is huge. He's 6'5", 188. He's 23 years of age. He went to Stanford. That's where he played his college ball. But he has been fantastic this season. On the year, 3-1 with a 1.43 ERA in 7 games started, has 63 strikeouts on the year. And he's ramped it up a little bit over his past couple of starts in the month of May. He has been freaking awesome. 12 2/3 innings pitched across 3 games. In his last start, went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 1 walk, had 11 strikeouts in that game, which was ridiculous. So pretty cool to see that. And players are hitting a $159 against him in the month of May. So this is a pitcher to watch. A tall lefty who can throw strikes, and he's been going deep into ball games. I think being in college allows him to go a little bit deeper into ball games. He's ramped it up every single start. So in the past 7 starts, his past 2 starts, he's gone 6 1/3 and then 7 innings. He's gone 6 innings in his last 4 starts. He's been fantastic. He's had games where he's had 11 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, 13 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts. His lowest game is 6 strikeouts. So this is a player to watch in the Cardinals farm system. As we know, they've had a little bit of trouble developing pitchers over the past few years. Someone to watch is Quinn Matthews, 4th round pick in 2023. He's been fantastic in high A. Someone to watch over the next few years.
I like it. I like it a lot, bud. You want the stat of the week?
I want the stat of the week.
Come on. You had to know this was coming, man. I mean,
we
haven't really had like an Ellie versus O'Neal update.
Oh,
basically, I mean, you better should have known. I mean, what you mean? What he did last night. Did you see what he did last night?
I did.
What did you want to tell the audience stat of the week? You might as well.
I saw you repost. What did you tweet? I'm finding your tweet because you reposted it. Didn't you? I should have said
I tweeted it from the shift, even though Jovan called me out.
Yeah, that's what happened. You
Jovan.
tweeted it from the shift account.
Yeah, O'Neal's different.
It was hysterical. Oh my god.
Yeah, O'Neal's different, man.
Yeah, O'Neal is different. Yeah, you could tell I didn't have the account last night and tweet that out.
And the thing is, like,
everyone else.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, you agree though he's different.
Oh yeah, no, he is. He's really good. So what would you have the 3? So he hit harder the 3 really like the hardest hit baseballs, right? What was the exit velo on the 3?
Yeah, so it was let me get the exact I think it was 116. I'm gonna have it right here from when they played the Giants last night. It was unbelievable. It was let's see. Was 116 on the double, 120 on a single, which is unbelievable. And it was almost 122 on his double off of Camilo Duvall. He's unbelievable, man. It's something to behold right now. Look, I know his numbers aren't like he hasn't like super figured it out or anything yet. That's still something that he's working on. I mean, it seems like Ellie's really pulled ahead of him as far as figuring it out goes so far. But I can't not mention this, and obviously this fits well for this show when it comes to Ellie versus O'Neal.
Yeah.
But as far as average exit, the exit velo goes, man, I mean, he's in the 99th percentile according to Baseball Savant. this is what he does. This is what he does. He hits baseballs extremely hard. That's what he does. And it's really, I mean, like, even when it's just a single, it's like, oh my gosh, did you hear the sound off the bat? Did you see how, how hard it was hit? This is where I'm very thankful that we have StatCast now, because we'll really be able to track stuff like that. And, I would love to see how hard Mark McGwire would hit a single, even back in 1998. Yeah. Honestly, because he would just demolish balls, even though it would look like he was barely giving any effort. But O'Neal Cruz, what he's doing right now, man, as far as just hitting baseballs, since he's come up and when he's been healthy, he just crushes baseballs. So I thought that was a really, really fun display of what O'Neal Cruz can do, when he's really crushing the baseball.
Yeah,
listen, what I'm saying?
I'll let you have your O'Neal Cruz propaganda minute here. Listen, that was fantastic. I mean, the guy can rake legitimately. Now, the Cruz versus Cruz, we'll see how it eventually ends up, right, at the end of the year. But both these guys had pretty good seasons to start. That was ridiculous last night. I mean, 120 exit below. Oh my goodness, that's just crazy. So I should have known that it was coming. You said before the show, I was like, what stat are you coming with this week? I was like, I couldn't. I'm like, he's like, you were like, you should know. I'm like, I guess I should, and I should have known that. I should have known that was coming with O'Neal with the 3 hardest hit baseballs last night. That was pretty awesome stuff. By the way, Quinn Matthews, I couldn't read my own handwriting. 21st ranked prospect in the Cardinal system. So I got to keep an eye on.
I'm glad you could read.
Yeah, I write in chicken scratch. So. I mean, if you want to go through my book, it's bad. It's pretty bad. So, yeah, I didn't get good grades on my handwriting.
Yeah, my handwriting is terrible now. It's really bad. It's pretty embarrassing. It's very illegible. So yeah. All right, let's close the show out. Look, this guy's just been disgusting.
Woo!
Mason Miller for the Athletics. Athletics fans don't really have like a whole lot to, be excited about. But there is, one or two things, and one of those things is Mason Miller. My goodness, if you just want to go to Pitching Ninjas page and just scroll down, you'll find some Mason Miller overlays, or not even just overlays, just some of his fastballs, his slider stuff. It's disgusting. If you just want to nerd out on pitching, I mean, you just watch Mason Miller pitch. It's unbelievable. So Nick, you kind of offered me up this question in our show notes tonight. What do you think? Because I guess in to a certain extent, I don't want to say it's smart, but the Athletics, I don't know. Is it smart? I mean, what do you think? Is it smart for the A's to move Mason Miller?
I think it would be, because I mean, what are you going to do with a closer right now if you're Oakland? I mean, listen, they've played much better. Remember when we were comparing them to the A's AAA team early on in the year, right? Like, they've played much better.
Right.
I just don't know how far a closer is going to get you. I know he's young. I know there's been talk, hey, if he wins Rookie of the Year, it could get you a draft pick, et cetera, right? I think it would make sense for Oakland to move them, because the rumors swirling around out there in the universe, right, is that they're asking for a lot because he's so young, right? But like relievers, there's such a year-to-year thing. Like, he's been unreal. Like, the guy pitches lights out. His fastball is ridiculous. I mean, he's hitting like 103 all the time. He's like the first pitcher since 1901 with a scoreless 15-game span of 35 strikeouts and fewer than 5 walks. Like, I think that was according to Sarah Lange, right? So the guy's been unreal. Like, he's been fantastic. Great. Like, I think the A's should definitely trade him. They could get a lot of value for him. But what's giving up too much? You know what I mean? Like, what are you giving up? Like, if you're a team, he's a reliever, he's a closer. It's not a bat. You're not getting a bat. You're not getting a starting pitcher. He's young. He's not completely proven yet. He's been fantastic. It's not taking anything away from him and what he can be going forward. But for a young reliever like that, and with the kind of history of relievers can be year to year. He doesn't really have a track record yet as a reliever. I would just be nervous to give up a bunch of prospects, high level prospects to get him, or even some major league talent. What is it going to take? That's the question. That's the question, and apparently it would take a lot.
Yeah, no, it's. I just think it's tough because the guy's already had injury issues. He's already had injury issues.
That's another point. Exactly.
Yeah, he's already had injury issues. He's a closer. He's a closer, and I think he's going to be nasty. I think he is. I guess what it depends on, really. Like, do you think he's going to be a Craig Kimbrell where he's going to be nasty for a decade plus? Do you think he's going to be that type of special closer? And if you're a team who thinks that he can be that, then I think it would be worth it to trade for him.
Yeah.
I just don't know do I really. I mean, his stuff's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think he's that type of guy, or do you think he's going to be like, we need to see more?
Right. I just listen. So what did the Mets do? Yeah, what did the Mets do when they got Diaz, right? Didn't they they gave up a couple of top prospects?
Was Kelenic in that deal?
Yeah,
no.
It was Kelenic and Dunn. Yeah, it was Kelenic and Dunn. I just looked it up.
Right.
So
yeah. See, and Diaz has been literally Diaz has been all over the place since that disgusting year he had in 2018.
That's what I'm saying. Do you give up those type of players and those guys in a trade like that right now? I know he's been really good, but he's a reliever. He's a closer. You can find guys from year to year to close.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. The only way I'm giving up a haul is if I think he's going to be a Kimbrell, if I think he's going to be a Jansen, if I think he's going to be a Billy Wagner, where I know every year he's going to be dominant. And those guys, all those guys I just mentioned there are potential Hall of Famers. So the only way you're going to trade that much, that type of thing for him is if you think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Genuinely.
Well, you mentioned the injury history. I mean, that's the stuff with how hard he throws, you're getting with the potential of Tommy John maybe at some point. You know what I mean? With the injuries, the elbow stuff that he's had, right? You don't want to go that's a road you have to think about in the back of your mind if you are a GM, right? And I think a contending team can give up the prospects. You know what I mean? I think if a team's going to trade for him, it's going to be a contender. It's not going to be some Joe Schmo team. It's the middle of the pack that's going to go after him. No, it's got to be a contending team because they can, if they have the prospects, they can give them up. And if they need a back end of the rotation guy or back end of the bullpen guy, yeah, that makes sense for high leverage situations. That makes sense to me. Maybe you can part with a couple of prospects. Do you want to do that and go for it? A contending team might say, yeah, why not? Let's do it. We can get a really good closer. But then again, he's so young. And you're going to have him in these high leverage situations, high leverage situations in the playoffs. That's another thing. He hasn't been in that spot before yet. So that's another spot. You're going to make him a closer. You're going to make him a 7th or 8th inning guy. That's another thing that could go through your mind because you know how it becomes a mental game in the playoffs, especially with a young pitcher. Can the moment be too big? You don't know. He's playing in Oakland. He's in Oakland. I mean, you know what I mean? So playing in front of 10 fans, it's a different atmosphere when you get to the postseason. So it's something to think about.
Yeah. No, good points, man. Good points. Yeah, I just think if whatever team, if you're right, like you said, contender, I just think if you're trading for him, I think you got to feel like he's really going to be the guy. All right. So yeah, let us know though. Oh, we forgot to mention our Twitter poll. Sorry, we did not mention that at all. I have 2 questions for the audience. So first one here, before we get to the Twitter poll, let us know what your thoughts are on Mason Miller. Let us know what your thoughts are on him, potentially getting traded. What would you give up to get him? Should the A's give him up? Should they not? If they are, what's the price there? And our Twitter poll for tonight's show is going back to our opener there. after their hot starts, who's more likely to win this NL Cy Young? Easy. Is it a Shota Imanaga or is it Ranger Suarez? Go vote the shift_media on Twitter, and you can go follow us there. Follow Nick Earnshaw, where his name is right on the screen, as always, under his name. Thirsty for follows right there. I'm just laying it out. Nah, I love Nick. Don't.
Listen, I changed the handle, so I gotta
you gotta shove it in people's faces. I know.
Yes, I changed the handle. The handle has been changed. You can't find me at the other one now. It's this one.
Right. Not Nern9, right? Nern underscore.
No underscores, no nines, no numbers, just
Earnshaw Radio.
Hell
yeah. All right. Well, episode 54 of the shift. I don't got any vacations coming up. I know you don't either. So I think we'll be back next week.
We will be. Yes.
We'll be back. Yes. We'll make sure of that.
The shift, the show is going on a few vacations.
Oh, we are. We're gonna be out and about this summer. We're gonna be everywhere. we're gonna be on boardwalks. We're gonna be in stadiums.
Listen,
we're gonna be in parking lots.
I can make that happen.
Well, the boardwalk?
The boardwalk thing, I can. Oh yeah.
How are you gonna make that happen? I want to know.
I know a guy. All right. When we talked about who do I know? Who does Nick know? I know some guys.
Bill Casey. You know everybody. You know everybody. Yeah.
I know some people. We can make that happen.
All right. Well, episode 54 of this shift. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on the tube, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you are watching. Bam, boom, pow. We'll see you next week.